Another day in the life of an insurance agent. Hello, my name is David Mitkoski, and our agency is called Vistaplan Financial Group. This week I had an opportunity to talk to a young fella that was looking for disability insurance, and he had a lot of questions around own occupation. Should I have it? Is it expensive? Do I need it? Do I qualify for it? So we had a long discussion around own occupation. And so today's topic is the definition of own occupation. All right, so let's get started. Disability insurance is an interesting contract because it's all based around definitions. And every disability insurance contract that you buy, whether it's from a bank or you get disability insurance through your credit card, or some people have group insurance, or whether you have a private disability insurance contract, every disability insurance contract has a headline, usually right on the front cover or very near the top. And it reads something like this: during total disability, we will pay a monthly benefit of X number of dollars per month. This benefit will start after the waiting period and will be payable while total disability continues up to age 65. And many people stop reading their disability insurance contract right after that. They don't go any deeper into it. I mean, it sounds like if I become disabled, they're going to pay me so much money every month until I'm 65. Why should I read any further? Well, that is only the headline in a disability insurance contract, and you have to go deeper. What you have to do is find the definition of total disability, and someplace in that contract, and it'll actually start by saying total disability means, and then there'll be something after it. And that's how the insurance company is going to determine if you're disabled and whether or not they're going to pay a claim. So today I want to look at 3 different types of total disability definitions. The first one is a limited regular occupation definition. The second one is basically a regular occupation definition up to the end of your benefit period. And the third one is own occupation. So let's take a look at the first one. The first one is a limited regular occupation definition. And this one, when you get into the contract and you read the section that says total disability means, it usually says something like this: during the first 24 months of disability due to injury or sickness, you will be considered totally disabled if you can't do the duties of your regular occupation. Thereafter, so after the 24 months, you'll still be considered totally disabled if you can't do the duties of any occupation by reason of education, training, and experience. So what's going on with this disability insurance contract? Well, for the first 24 months, they're going to consider you disabled if you can't do the duties of your regular occupation. Thereafter, they're only going to consider you totally disabled if you can't do the duties of any occupation. Who do you think finds that other occupation for you? Do you think they even have to define that other occupation? I don't think so. I've seen letters where they simply say, we no longer feel you're totally disabled, therefore you're qualified for some type of sedentary desk job. We're no longer going to pay the benefits. So inside your disability insurance contract, make sure you find the section that starts total disability means and find out what it actually says. Because from our headline, it would sound like we're going to get coverage to 65. But if your definition, it has a 24-month regular occupation, then any occupation, it's not that way at all. Some poorer contracts even only cover you for 12 months in your occupation, and then it's any occupation. So So that's the first type of contract. Let's look at the second one, and that's a regular occupation definition to the end of your benefit period. Now this one starts out pretty much the same way. It says that you will be considered totally disabled due to injury or sickness if you cannot perform the substantial duties of your regular occupation. So you can't do the duties of your regular occupation, you're considered totally disabled. And then the next sentence says, however, you will not be considered totally disabled if you are involved in any other occupation. So what this one's referring to is, if you can't work in your occupation, you're considered totally disabled through to age 65. However, if you choose to go into your occupation part-time or choose a different occupation, you'll no longer be considered totally disabled. And these types of contracts usually have a residual benefit. So you're not totally disabled, you're gone to work someplace else, now you're partially disabled and you're going to receive a partial benefit. These are the very best kind of disability insurance contracts. First of all, if you become disabled, sitting at home doing nothing day after day is very difficult. It's mentally stressful, and a lot of people have a lot of stress-related disabilities that come from doing nothing. So it's much healthier if you can go to work on a part-time basis in your occupation or another occupation, do something different, still earn an income, and still receive some disability insurance benefits. Now, in that first definition that I read, usually those contracts have no residual. So if they cut you off on your total disability, you're done. This second one says we'll pay you to the end of your regular occupation period. So if your contract was for 5 years, it would be for 5 years. If the contract was to age 65, it would be to age 65. Then if you choose to go to work someplace else, whether your occupation or another occupation, you'll be considered partially disabled. So this is the very best type of definition for total disability. Then the third one is called own occupation. Own occupation says, and again starts pretty much the same way, that you will be considered disabled due to injury or sickness if you can't perform the substantial duties of your regular occupation, period. So with this one, if you can't do the duties of your regular occupation, you'll receive total disability benefits all the way through to age 65, whether you work someplace else or not. It doesn't matter. You could actually work in another occupation, make as much money as you made in a previous one, and you'll still receive total disability benefits. Now, can everybody get own occupation? No, it's not available to everybody. It's available in the top classes for disability insurance, and when you talk to an agent, he can help you determine if you qualify or not. But it's available to doctors, dentists, a lot of business executives, business owners that don't do physical work. They might be able to get own occupation. One of the things you have to remember about own occupation is it's not a freebie. You can't assume if you have an own occupation definition that as soon as you can't do the duties of your occupation, you're on easy street and they're going to pay you to 65 and it doesn't matter. It's not that way. When you become disabled, you have to be able to prove to the insurance company that you can do another occupation, but you can't do your occupation even part-time. When we work with professionals, for example, a surgeon is a perfect example to have an own occupation definition for total disability. If a surgeon was to lose the nerve in his right arm, if he's right-handed, it would be very easy for him to show the insurance company that he cannot do surgery anymore, period. He just can't do it. That person would receive total benefits to 65 even if he went into another occupation and earned the same income. A dentist is another good example for own occupation. You become disabled, you again lose or injure your right arm, you can't do dentistry. It's very easy to prove to the insurance company that you can't do dentistry, but you can do other occupations that don't require the hand coordination that it does in dentistry. For example, somebody like me, would I pay extra for own occupation? Not really. If I became disabled and I couldn't do my job, I'm really disabled and I'm likely not able to do a lot of anything. So therefore, having own occupation isn't going to be an easy thing for me to try to prove to the insurance company that I can do something else, but I can't work in the insurance or financial services industry. So again, in summary, there's 3 types of definitions for total disability. There's a limited regular occupation definition. There's the regular occupation definition to the end of your benefit period, and there's own occupation. And I encourage you, if you have disability insurance, pull it out and find out how the company determines if you're going to be disabled. Usually, again, in the contract, it'll say total disability means. And that's the part you want to read. If you ever have any questions about what you have and you don't understand it, reach out to us. We're always willing to help and explain these things to you. But it's really important, and you want to learn about what you have in your contract before an injury happens. Sometimes people don't learn about these things until after they've been disabled, and sometimes after they've been disabled 24 months. And then the insurance company says, see you don't qualify anymore. It's the small print in your contract. Bye-bye. You don't want to have that happen to you. So pull out your contract, take a look at what the definition is for total disability. Make sure it's a good one, the best one you can get, and have the comfort and the knowledge that you know you're covered correctly. Okay, well, thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful. In the next minute, there'll be a slide with our contact information if you want to reach out to us with any questions. We're always willing to help. Also, you can click on our channel and register for it, and that way we try to post something every Wednesday. So again, I hope this has been helpful. Hope understanding total disability definitions is a little clearer. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.